Thank you, Dr. Dickerson, for a very thought-provoking talk. Does anybody have a burning question they'd like to ask Dr. Dickerson? Again, we may have time at the end, but thank you so much, Dr. Dickerson. Next up, we have Dr. Luis Garcia, my new friend. And Dr. Garcia is a intensivist and emergency physician and has over 27 years of experience. He's the current president of the European Society of Emergency Medicine and the past director of his hospital in Cantabria, Spain. He's always a forward thinker, and I think coming on the heels of our last talk, it's very timely that he'll be speaking about the future of resuscitation. Thanks, Dr. Garcia.
Thank you very much for your very kind presentation. After this very exciting presentation from Roger, I am a little bit ashamed, and please don't compare his abilities in the stage with me. I always have the misfortune to be the last one, and I have to speak after very good presenters. So this is a problem always for me. So my topic today is to talk a little bit about the future of resuscitation. I have selected this aspect that you see here in the slide. I am going to focus on a very debating approach to the resuscitation, and this is the cardiac arrest centers. And actually, this topic is on debate, and I would like to share with you my ideas and my information regarding this topic. Okay. To introduce my presentation, I would like to go with you through 2 or 3 slides that puts over the table the real situation of the actual problem of the cardiac arrest. Here you see the figures of cardiac arrest, people who is being treated by the emergency medical systems in Europe. Probably figures are bigger than this one because, as you all know, there is a problem of registering all this activity due to the complexity of these problems in the different settings. But the main thing that I want to stress with this slide is that although there is 250,000 of people being attended, only 10% of them, they are discharged alive from the hospital. So probably we have to think how to do these things better, and this is what we have to think for the future. The other thing that I would like to go through before I go to my topic is to show you that although there are small differences in the incidence of cardiac arrest in the different continents, the figures are very close one to each other. We can say that if you have a catching area of 100,000 inhabitants, you are going to have in between 30 or 40 cases per year per this catching area. But the survival rate is low in all the countries. Australia is the one who is doing the best, but we can see that the survival rate is really low everywhere. And this is also happening during the last year. You can see in the light blue how many patients were able to return to spontaneous circulation. There has been a slight increase, but you can see that the survival rate of the hospital admission is not increasing so much, from 6.7. Yeah, thank you. From 7 years ago, 6% to the actual 8%. There's a very, very moderated increase. So there is place for improving. And this is the problem. Let us have an ideal situation in which we have to treat 100 patients. Of these 100 patients, if we provide treatment to them in the pre-hospital setting, we are able to return to spontaneous circulation 40 of them. Of these 40 who are admitted to the hospital, only 10 of them are going to be discharged alive. So you can see that the main loss of lives is not done outside of the hospital, it is done inside of the hospital. So let us focus in that part of the activity of the resuscitation. So we are talking about the last chain of survival, And as you can see in the expanded version of the chains of survival, we are talking about how we are going to move these patients and where. What are we going to do with them on the emergency departments? What are we going to do with them on the intensive care units and on the cath labs? And this is the idea of my presentation today, focusing on the implementation of cardiac arrest centers. And if you implement a cardiac arrest center, immediately you have to regionalize the transport of the patients. These are two things that go together. So the question is worth to implement cardiac arrest patients? Do we have enough information to answer this question? I have no conflict of interest for the rest of my presentation. So we all know that the guidelines are really helpful for us. So let us go and take a look to what the guidelines say about this. The American Heart Association guidelines, they say that to regionalize an approach to the out-of-the-hospital cardiac arrest